What's up guys, this is Nassim McGill here, and today we're going to be talking about important events that have happened in history. According to the 15th Amendment, you guys have the right to vote. According to the 14th Amendment, you guys have the right to have rights. And who could forget about the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery? But there's just this one important event in history that really caught my attention. That moment in history is the Cuphead. Okay, I'll stop. This is probably the dumbest intro I have ever made. What's up guys, this is Nassim McGill here, and today we're not going to be talking about amendments, even though they are an important thing to learn. Today I'm going to be discussing my opinions on every single Cuphead boss that's in the game. Cuphead is a run and gun video game that involves a character named Cuphead and his brother named Mugman, who make a deal with the devil. And as a person that believes in God, I would say that the devil is definitely not a good person. In fact, this game does a pretty good job at stapling that fact. Basically, the lesson is don't make a deal with a soul-thirsty demon. Okay, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. So it's about brothers Cuphead and Mugman who make a deal with the devil, and they lose a bet in a casino, and they have to get all the devil's contracts from his runaway debtors. I really love this game because obviously you can see this amazing animation that took like, I don't even know how long. I feel like it took at least like 10 years. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like it took like 10 years to make. All I can say is the game looks worth it, and it is. About how difficult this game is, oh, it's hard. Oh God, it's hard. Oh dear God, it's hard. Okay, I don't want anyone to clip what I said and just make it out of context. I'm just saying, that's how difficult the game is. Anyway, this is going to be part 1. Today I'm going to be discussing the Inkwell Isle One bosses, which this video should be less than 10 minutes. If it's 10 minutes, then it's whatever, man. I honestly like to make videos about this because I like to talk to you guys about my opinions and stuff. And today, I'm basically sharing that passion. Alright, we're gonna get started. So, without further ado, let's just get into this. So, after the game explains what situation we're in, we have to go talk with our, father, the Elder Kettle. I think he's our father? I don't know. Anyway, he tells us to stay low until, the final fight. And then you have to go to the tutorial, which teaches you how to duck, jump, dash, descend, shoot, lock, parry, resurrect, use a power move. This game even teaches you how to pick up a coin. That's so kind. So after you pick up said coin, the tutorial's over. And after we complete the tutorial, we leave the Elder Kettle's place to talk to a, apple? The apple talks about how it can relate and stuff, and it even gives us more coins. And then you can go to the store and get any gun you want. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, the only guns that I used in Cuphead are probably the regular shots and probably I don't know, spread shot? Listen man, I basically used every single gun except for Chaser. Y'all are gonna think I'm pretty weird for saying this, and in my opinion, it's a pretty good reason why I don't use Chaser. It's because it's broken. It literally does your work for you, but in my opinion, where's the fun in that? I mean, I get it, this game is, very hard, but in my opinion, and this will sound weird, it just seems like cheating. I like to talk strategy. I'm a strategic person, and if I have something that's flying across the screen all over the place, then it would leave me pretty confused and it would be pretty hard to come up with a strategy. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that. Let's continue. And so after you get a gun from the shop, you have to obviously pick the running gun or the bosses. But today, we're not gonna talk about the running guns. We're gonna talk about the bosses in Inkwell Isle One. And we're going to start off with the Root Pack. To start this, we're going to start off with the root pack and Botanic Panic. Now this was the first boss we've ever beaten in Cuphead. As you can see, this potato looks very mad. And honestly, he kind of made me mad too. But in my opinion, he was a pretty alright boss to start off with, you know. Definitely not the worst in the game. But it's okay. The worst is going to come eventually. Probably not in this aisle, but you know, it was a pretty alright start. And then this man ruined the vibe. Don't let this smile fool you. He's been plotting ever since day one. Or maybe, I hate to say it, but we're the monsters. We did this. We caused the freaking bullet hell of the century. Okay, I'm definitely over-exaggerating this. I'll stop. I wouldn't call this the bullet hell of the century, but hoo-wee, this part definitely was a pain to navigate through. That's all I have to say. And then we get to the final phase, which is a tripped out carrot that knows exactly what he's doing. These carrots that were following us were just very annoying. Oh yeah, right. And the occasional beam did not make it any better. Also, he has a third eye? What? So as for Botanic Panic, all I have to say is that the potato was fine. The onion was just... why? And the carrot was just pretty, oh my god. The carrot was just very annoying. When I call some of these bosses annoying, I don't always mean it in a way that says that I've spent a long time on them. Which, I have spent a long time on them. I mean annoying as in the pattern. It's not a bad pattern. It's just, oh my god, I'm being stalked by carrots. I just like how, we shot the onion and we made it cry. Just like how onions make us cry in real life. We're still monsters for doing that though. Now, in my opinion, overall, I actually like this boss. This boss was a pretty good beginner boss. Now, was it hard? Yes. Well, this game in general is hard, but man, these patterns were just... It was pretty overwhelming, especially since it was our first time playing the game. Is it the hardest boss in the game? Absolutely not. We'll get to the hardest boss in the game. Oh, it'll come up. Oh god, it'll come up. But for now, let's just move on to the next boss, which is Ribby and Croaks and Clip Joint Calamity. Only one word can describe these two. Pain. Alright, the first attack that Ribby and Ryu and Ken throw at me are these little flame guys, which are actually pretty easy to take care of with spread shot. And then this other frog throws some Street Fighter crap at me. These are some Hadoukens. I've never played Street Fighter ever, but I know that term. Listen, I know they have a pattern, but they're just moving so fast. These two really wanted to keep their contracts. And then we get to the second phase where the green frog just rolls his way to the left side of the screen. Now, I want to ask you guys just this one question real quick. How is this fair? It's a 2v1 situation. Well, I know Mugman's in the game, but still. I know me and my brothers went through the first phase a lot, but this phase was just, oh my goodness. It's always the green frog too. He just wants us to lose more than the other frog. Better close that mouth, you know what I said. Alright, and then we get to their last phase, which involves that frog doing that. By the way, I do like that transition. This phase made us hit the restart button a lot. What you gotta do is avoid the coins and parry the hand. And then it makes platforms appear. Sounds simple, right? Just easy platforming? Nope. Some of the platforms do this. But then again, some do this. But you know what I don't like? This. What do you call this? As Spectrum Business would say, nonsense. So overall, in the first phase, the green frog was a problem. In the second phase, the green frog was also a problem. Well, actually, the brown frog was kind of a problem too, but yeah. And the final phase was just, oh my goodness. And honestly, with this final phase, we low-key almost gave up on this. But we somehow beat it in the end. So overall, I really love what they were going for with this boss. It really shows some Street Fighter vibes. Even though I haven't played Street Fighter, I do know what Street Fighter characters are supposed to look like with belts and pants and stuff. However, the gameplay was just, oh my goodness. It was just stressful. This whole entire level was just stressful. It took a while to beat these two, but we got it done. Thank God. Definitely harder than the first level. Just like Botanic Panic, this is not the worst boss in the game, but we'll get to them. Now it's time for Goopy the Grande and Ruse of an Ooze. Alright, to start off, I would like to say that at first I didn't think this guy was a piece of slime. I actually thought he was a ball, a beanbag, a teardrop, or something. But apparently I skipped over the fact that this was called Ruse of an Ooze, not Ruse of a freaking teardrop. So as you can see, this boss is pretty self-explanatory. This guy just jumps left and right across the screen. The only problem I have with this is that you can never tell how big his jump is going to be. Also, when he jumps against the wall, it's just very confusing to me. Which, that's not the game's fault. That's my fault. Oh yeah, he also does this thing where he like turns himself into a fist and thrusts his whole entire slimeness at me. I feel like this guy was doing some boxing practices before I came here. And Goopy's second phase requires a lot of the same thing, but more priority considering that he's freaking huge. Yeah, the first phase and second phase were sort of an issue for us. Now instead of him turning into the boxing glove, he has his own boxing glove, which is easy to avoid if you just get out of the way. Well, you can duck under it, but we didn't really take our chances with that. Most of the deaths in this level came from the first and second phase. What can I say? The slime was pretty active. Definitely one of the more energetic bosses in Cuphead, and the music fits this level very well. And then Goopy finally gets tired of jumping around a lot, and he's dead. Well, I guess we're moving on to the next boss since he's dead. Excuse the freak me? So yeah, I guess Goopy's dead, but his soul is living on inside of his grave. This looks pretty self-explanatory. The grave moves left and right and tries to smush you when it sees you under it. This phase wasn't really that hard, but it took a long time to take him down. Well, in the footage I'm showing you, this guy is using spread shot, but I think we used the regular shot and we just kept trying to jump up sometimes to try to hit him and dash away when we can. But yeah, this phase was easier than we initially thought. I see some people hate this boss, but in my opinion, this boss is pretty good. Rest in peace to my boy Goopy though. I feel like I know why people hate this boss. I feel like people hate this boss because it's very simplistic. I'm not saying that's 100% the reason why. I'm not trying to really jump to any conclusions, but it's just what I think. But I like the simplistic style of the boss because it's the first isle. What else do you expect for a starter boss? Also, this is just my opinion, but Goopy's design is amazing. I fully respect what the creators were going for when making this boss. I freaking love this boss. I don't mean to be biased to any other boss in the game. If you hate or like him, I respect your opinion. I do like this boss. Now, is it my favorite boss in the game? No. But we'll get to the favorite boss. Now we get to a boss that is, the breed known as a feminine Dalmatian. But in order to face this boss, we need to be able to shoot, use a special, parry, and shrink. I think you guys already get the idea. You guys probably know who the boss is. So I'm not even going to waste any more time. I'm just going to get to her. I just want to start off by saying that this girl is one of the most annoying boss that I've ever encountered. Firstly, why are fish flying in the air? Why are they shooting bullets at me? And I'm sorry, but I know dang well that this girl did not just laugh at me. By the way, what even are you? She's obviously supposed to be a Zeppelin, but what's with the unicycle and legs? I don't know. Let's move on. Alright. This girl also does this thing where she deflates, creates a constellation, and she turns it to one of three things. One is the bull that you see on the screen, which was very annoying. As you've just seen, this bull was trying to poke your eyes out. Yeah, like that. This one was definitely the hardest one that she turned into. She can also turn into this archer, which is probably the easiest one to deal with. As you can see, he shoots arrows and stars. The stars follow you, but they are shootable. But even if you don't shoot the stars, they are temporary because they just fly off the screen. It's a pretty easy transformation. And finally, she turns into two twins that can harness some kind of energy source that shoots bullets. The only problem I have with this is that you never know what start position the bullets are going to come out of. You can be as ready as you can for this phase, but get hit by the first bullet that comes out of this ball. Also, why is that ball still there even though the twins are gone? Like, what the freak? I almost forgot to include this, but she can also shoot a tornado, which is sort of easy to dodge, but not really. And then at Hilda's final phase, she just freaks the freak out. Literally. And then she turns into a moon. Along with her moon transformation, stars come from the right side of the screen. She still has the audacity to laugh at me. And there's UFOs that come from the top of the screen that try to shoot beams at you. The things that kept mostly taking us down in this phase were the stars and the UFOs, but we actually found out a pattern with the UFOs. If you're stuck on the last phase in this boss, I'll tell you the strategy behind the UFOs. The red ones shoot when you go through them, but the yellow ones only shoot before you go through them. Just thought I'd tell you guys the pattern because we definitely died to those UFOs a lot. And as far as this boss goes, that's about it for this boss. And that's when we realized that the playing levels might be a problem. Especially since we were playing on a Switch. Well, actually, I don't know. Does it depend which game system you play on? Well, I mean, we all know that this game is very hard, but I just feel like there might be just one game system where it's a tiny bit easier. I have no idea. You guys can tell me in the comment section. As for my actual opinions on this boss was, this boss was pretty alright. In my opinion, not the best, but also not the worst. But I do have to say that the creativity in this level was definitely there. I mean, who would have known that a Zeppelin can turn into a freaking sheep or bull? Or sheep bull. I do have to say that the fish were very crazy and we mostly got hit by those in this level. But even though this level was crazy and felt very overwhelming, the animation makes up for that. I can't get enough of it. It's just so well done. Is this girl the hardest boss in the game? No. She was definitely a pain though. Okay, I've saved the best boss for last. The hardest boss in this isle. Not the game, but definitely in this isle. I think you guys can probably agree when I say that this flower was a freaking pain. But as much as he was a pain, I do love his dancing. He might be the hardest one in the isle, and we did rage at this one. But I do respect this guy, mostly because he's just a flower that wants to like dance and stuff. And the music is just amazing for this level. Actually, one of the best tracks in the game. One of Cagney's moves involves pulling a Goopy Grande and thrusting his whole entire pollen at me. By the way, don't run into him while he's dancing. Another one of his moves involves him shooting mini missiles that I'm guessing contain sunlight, because how the freak are these plants growing so fast? Do y'all see how much crap is on the screen right now? You have to like dodge those missiles that come out of the sky. There's black things on the floor. There's like green things flying around like chompers or something. There's like a bird boomerang that he shoots. He shoots like, I don't even know what those are. They're like acorns. He has a tiny flying minion up in the air shooting parable objects, and oh my god, he's thrusting his whole entire pollen at me again, but this time up in the air instead of down low. Goopy Grande, you've been replaced. Most energetic boss in Cuphead goes to this man. I don't even have to tell y'all, man. I don't even have to tell y'all. Look at it. Guy's crazy. Oh, you're pissed off? Oh, I thought it was the other way around. You see, I thought I was the one that was supposed to be pissed. Okay, I'll stop. In Cagney's final phase, he grows bigger, and oh my god, he looks so cool. He grows bigger, and he makes it so you cannot touch the floor. He tries to cover up the 3 platforms with vines, and he also tries to shoot these weird circle things at you. The first phase was very hard to get past, and as for this phase, surprise, surprise, it's not any easier. As stressful as this boss was to get through, I do not hate it at all. It may have been hard and stressful, but I love how chaotic it was. This boss is just amazing. Oh my god, he's all hollow now. To conclude, this boss is very stressful and it is extremely hard, in our opinion. The hardest one in the isle. But you know, it's one of those bosses where it's hard, but it gains my respect, you know? I just love the boss's design, and the music is just phenomenal. An absolute masterpiece. It also gives people like Brazilian vibes, if I'm not mistaken. Brazil kind of have good music. I just love how chaotic this boss is. The chaos fits very well with the music. Now, just because I'm giving this boss a lot of compliments doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind about how hard it is. This boss is still the hardest one in Inkwell Isle One in our opinion. Not the hardest one in the game, but definitely the hardest one in this isle. I just love the animation that the creators gave the plant. I just love the little dance he was doing. God, I love this game so much. I mean, how could you not hate the animation? This game is just nothing but a masterpiece. The devs destroyed the animation. And that about wraps it up for this isle. This game is extremely beautiful and it's extremely hard at the same time. But that's why I love it. A beautiful challenge. Thank you guys for watching the video. This video is pretty long. I expected this to be like less than 10 minutes. That's what I said at the beginning of the video, but now me like going into this now, I now realize that I talk for like a long time, and it's not a bad thing at all. I actually miss doing this. The reason I don't do this often is because it just takes a long time to like edit and stuff. I mean, I have plenty of time to make them, but it's just my motivation in making them is just not so high. You can see that this is like the 1 year anniversary of my Doki Doki Literature Club video by the time this video goes up. Today is literally December 13th, and I'm just now getting done with this video. And I recorded footage of this game like, I don't even know, like a week in advance. It just takes a long time to edit, but when the video comes out, it feels really satisfying. Hard work and dedication really pays off. And this, at least in my opinion, it really feels good to talk about all this, and it really feels good to share it with all of you. And if you've made it this far in the video, I would just like to say thank you. If you skipped to this part of the video, I would also like to say thank you. If you give my content a chance, and if you like it, and if you don't like it, I would also like to say thank you. Giving something a chance is just a very polite thing to do. I really appreciate the support. Okay, so as for if I'm going to continue this series or not, the question, I guess, for now is yes. You already saw how Doki Doki went. I started a series, but I didn't really end it. I lost motivation. I'm not going to guarantee anything. I probably said that in my Doki Doki Literature Club video, but I'm still going to let those words apply to here as well. Because personally, I'm not really the best at keeping my own promises. So I guess the series is for now still on the table, but I'm not going to guarantee that it'll get 100% finished, sadly. But this is a nice video to end off the year, at least in my opinion. I've been uploading voiceovers like for the whole entire year. It's a nice change. In my opinion, this is a nice change. I've been probably talking for a while now. I'm probably going to end the video right now. As always, I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a great day or night, depending on when you're watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.